I'm BB St. Roman. I live here in the French Quarter on Burgundy Street in this beautiful oasis, I think of it as. And this is my bird, Aiko. She's been here almost as long as I have, almost 30 years. And so we live here. And I fell in love with the French Quarter back in 1990 when I traveled down here with Dr. John. I was working with him for about 10 years. And when we came to New Orleans, I saw this place, and I never thought I'd settle down or get married or anything. But when I saw this place, I got attracted to the French Quarter, and I had to move here. So I just bought it. On a new moon, I looked, found the house and put an offer on it. On the full moon, 2 weeks later, I closed on it. So new moons and full moons are important to me. So back in New York City, I had worked on documentary films and traveled around the world and got to meet Mother Teresa, did a long film about her, the Dalai Lama, African tribal chieftains, shamans in the Himalayas. So I learned a lot of spiritual understanding of the world, which has been important to me all of my life. And then when I switched from working in documentaries to working with Dr. John, I got a whole new round of spirituality, and his was New Orleans style, hoodoo and voodoo. And he would burn candles all the time and would set up altars wherever we went, in hotel rooms, and burn candles. And when I decided to move down here on the spur of the moment, I set up my household with candles and ritual altars and that. But it wasn't until I met the man of my dreams down here named Pops that I got married at the House of Blues. That was in 1994. And so I thought it would be nice to have candles on the stage at the House of Blues for our wedding. So I made up these candles to go on the stage. So these are the first candles I ever made. That was back in 1994. And I made this label for them because I thought it'd be nice to commemorate them. So it's Pops and BB getting married at the House of Blues back then. So these were the very first candles I ever made. It all just magically came together because I never thought I'd make candles in my life. And it just happened out of the love story of Pops and BB. And then we started making candles. And I would make the labels, and Pops would put the labels on the candles. When I walked into Voodoo Authentica to see if they wanted to have some candles, I was overwhelmed with the positive feeling of the shop. And so they immediately were excited about the idea. And also, I had with me my grandson, Jesse, who became very interested in the whole vibe of voodoo, especially at Voodoo Authentica. And Jesse ended up becoming an Ungan, so he's a voodoo priest. And he's been working with Voodoo Authentica ever since as a priest and helping with ceremonies, performing ceremonies for them. So we're both very much attached to Voodoo Authentica. So it's the only place in New Orleans where you can get all of my candles that I make. So I'm very, very happy about the connection with them. So the relationship with Voodoo Authentica has continued to this day, some 20-something years later. And I love making the candles for them. Make each one by hand. And then I hand deliver them on my bicycle over to the shop. It's always fun to go in and stock them on the shelves. And I'll meet some of the customers sometimes, and people have told me, "Oh, you're the one who makes the candles. I got this candle, and finally my house sold because it wasn't selling, and someone else actually wrote me a letter about how she burned her success candle and her whole life changed around, and she's been successful ever since. So meeting the people and the clientele in the shop has been wonderful too, for the whole spirit of knowing that the candles are appreciated, because I certainly put all of my energy into them. I want them to work for everybody. I want everybody to have a good blessing from having the candles and, burning them and letting it radiate their power to help these people on their way for their lives. So over the last 25 years, we've developed over 50 varieties of candles. Sometimes Voodoo Authentica and Brandy have come up with ideas. Sometimes I have. She and I work great together. And so now that we have, besides all of the Magic in New Orleans candles, we have Loa candles, Orisha candles, which would be great on your altars to burn for them. And all of these candles are made right here in the French Quarter. Voodoo Authentica is in the French Quarter. So y'all need to come on down to Voodoo Authentica. It's the only place where you can see all of my candles there, where they're all available. And get yourself a taste of the magic of New Orleans. Here you go. All right, Aiko's going to do her pole dance. Whee!
All right, Aiko, great job.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Love you. See you next time.
All right.
Later, BB.
Bye-bye. See you over at Voodoo Authentica.
All right.
All right.